Well, this here is the all-new Citroen C5. Now, it's a French car maker which has been around since 100 years. It was launched in 1919 and they've really brought out some very legendary cars. They've got the 2CV, they've also got the DS, which is really an icon in the foreign markets. But of course, in India, this company is coming out with this big and premium SUV. This car will take on the likes of the Hyundai Tucson as well as the VW Tiguan, and the pricing of course is going to be very premium as well. It should start from around 30 lakh rupees, somewhere there, when it finally is launched in middle of March. In terms of looks, I reckon that it looks very stylish and very premium on the outside and very different and very striking to everything else which is out there on the road. But what do you think of the looks? A lot of people think that the looks could be a very divisive factor which could start a debate amongst friends, but I think it looks very European, very French, and definitely has effortless coolness about itself in terms of the way it looks on the outside. Anyways, we'll now play some music for you for about 25-30 seconds, show you the exteriors in this video, and after that jump inside and talk about the interiors and the driving bits. This is the video of the C5 and it's bonjour to Citroen from our side. Well, I'm inside the cabin now of the C5 and it's a very cool and elegant place to be in. It's a French car and you can see that because the design is very stylish of the interiors. Now, what you like about this car is the fact that you get multiple AC vents which look very cool. The touchscreen also is very nice to operate. It's a high definition touchscreen and very easy to navigate through all the menus. Below the touchscreen, you get a lot of buttons, but they're not physical. It's still a touchpad system, and that's quite good that you can use the buttons over here. What I like about this car is the fact that you still get knob for the volume. That's something that modern cars are missing out on, and of course other buttons over here for the central locking, the start stop function, as well as the climate control. So these buttons are actual physical buttons, and these buttons make a whole lot of difference inside the cabin in terms of quality. The ambience really is very good. Eco mode, sport mode, as well as the city mode on this car, the normal mode, and of course you also get an electric handbrake, cruise control, multiple airbags, paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, and of course a panoramic sunroof, which isn't available on this car because this is the field version of the car. You get that in the higher spec model. In terms of seat comfort, it's a nice and comfortable place to be in. The quality is quite good, and overall the ambience is also pretty good. What I didn't like about the car though is that when you open up the dashboard, the fuse box is over here, so you can only put a 1 liter bottle maybe inside and maybe a file of this size, but apart from that the glove box isn't very big. And the other thing I didn't like about the car is that the paddle shifters are fixed and they're not with the steering wheel. So in case you're in a turn and you want to downshift, you incline, how do you do that? Well, you just let the car do it automatically for you. So that's a bit of a miss. And also the cruise control function is placed very oddly behind the steering wheel, and that's something which a lot of buyers will definitely complain about when they're on the highway because it's a little difficult to access it. Once you get used to it, of course, it's quite okay, but other than that, it's not there. Softened up materials here for the glove box, and of course it's a very deep one, elbow box rather, not the glove box, and it's a very deep one, and a whole lot of paraphernalia can fit in it. Overall, I'll give it a strong score of 9 out of 10. Yes, could have been 10 out of 10 if the glove box was deeper and maybe a few odds and ends were better placed. Now let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so the space in the back is quite good. You get good knee room, you get good headroom, and you also get good seat comfort because the cushioning on these seats is really good. You get part leatherette seats and of course cloth over here, which really is nice in terms of the Indian summers. What's good about these seats, of course, is that all three of them are split, so all of them are different, and you can always use it to open up and take something out or keep something back in. So that's something which definitely gives these seats a lot of practicality. You don't get an armrest at the back because of this, but that's quite okay because in terms of practicality, it's a nice place to be. What you'll also like, of course, is the large window, and of course 2 AC vents as well. The USB over here is only a single USB, so maybe if you're sharing the back seat with 2 or 3 people, you have to take turns to charge your phone. But the floorboard is completely flat, so whoever sitting in the middle has plenty of place to stretch his feet. Overall, a nice place. I'll give a good score of 8 out of 10 to the back seat. Now let's see how good the boot on the C5 really is. Well, so the boot on this car is a massive 580 litres with all the rows up, and of course if you drop the second row down, it becomes even bigger than that. It really is the best boot in the segment. It's not very high from the ground, so you can easily load it. There's no loading sill, which is another positive, and the best point is that in the top of the line version, the version which is above this, you also get a tailgate which you can open by just swiping your leg below over here on the bumper. So that's something which is very good. This one, of course, is not with that feature, but you can get that if you want to spend a little bit more. So double thumbs up from my side to the boot of the C5. Well, so here I'm driving the C5 Aircross. Now remember, this car comes with only one engine option. There's no confusions about the engine and the gearboxes. You only get one engine option, and that's of course diesel, and it only comes with an automatic, and it's an 8-speed automatic. Now the diesel is a 2-liter turbocharged diesel, which makes about 177 bhp, and you also get 400 Nm of torque. And of course, the automatic gearbox is an 8-speed one, and you can use the pedal shifters behind the steering wheel as well to change gears, and they actually are very good. Now, it's a traditional torque converter unit, so that is something which I like. And torque converter units are always more reliable, they're more efficient in terms of the smoothness and the shifts than the other kind of gearboxes you get out there. What you will like, of course, about this car instantly as soon as you sit in. What you will now like about this car as soon as you sit inside it is the overall refinement from the engine, and the cabin isolation also is very good. It really is a very well isolated cabin. As soon as you start driving off, you can barely hear the engine note. The diesel engine is so refined, and it's not the engine refinement only, it's also the cabin isolation, because Citroen is saying that the windows and the glass area has been double paned. They've also taken care of a lot of places where noise comes from, and put sound deadening material over there. And the engine is very good in terms of refinement, even when you rev it hard on the highway. What you will like about this car the best, of course, is the fact that on the highway it feels very stable, very reassuring, very rock solid. And the suspension of this car really does soak in the bumps very well. No matter what kind of surface you're driving on, you might be driving this car on badly patched up roads, you might be driving it on rumble strips, or you might be on the highway on a flat and plain surface. This car will keep you very comfortable. It'll keep you very well isolated from everything else out there. And it'll give you supreme confidence as well, because the engine is so refined. It's also very powerful. Now, one area where this car is ahead of all its other rivals is in the fact that its fuel efficiency, the claim fuel efficiency figure, is much better than its main rival, and that's something which Citroen says they've worked hard on. And of course, being an 8-speed automatic also does give it great flexibility and help you achieve that kind of fuel efficiency. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that in terms of refinement, in terms of performance, in terms of power, in terms of gearbox options, in terms of the overall ride comfort, this is a phenomenal package. And if you're in the market for a comfortable car that you want to drive yourself on a regular basis, then definitely this new SUV is the one you should check out. And in the driving bits alone, I'll give it a very respectable score of 92 out of 100. Well, overall, if in the market for a car which looks very stylish, for a car which offers an ultra comfortable ride, it offers you very classy interiors and very comfortable interiors, and also offers you a very refined diesel engine which also feel efficient, and you also want a car which is something of a relative exclusivity, and you also want a car which is relatively exclusive and your neighbors don't really have, then definitely the C5 is a car you should check out. I'm very impressed with it today, and I'll give it a strong score of 95 out of 100. I'm very impressed with it today. I'll give it a strong score of 92 out of 100 and a double thumbs up from my side. Welcome to Citroen, to India, and welcome to the C5. It really is a solid all-rounder. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.